Ford killed the Crown Victoria in 2011. They announced the decision quietly, ran out the final production at the St. Thomas assembly plant in Ontario, and shut the line down. Police departments across the country immediately began stockpiling used Crown Victorias because nothing Ford offered as a replacement performed the same job at the same cost. 15 years later, Americans are still searching for clean examples, and the truth about why Ford killed the most recognizable American sedan of the last 30 years has never been honestly explained. This video does that, names the actual decision, and shows what was lost when the last Crown Victoria rolled off the line. The Crown Victoria was not a vehicle, it was American infrastructure. Police departments in every major American city ran fleets of Crown Victorias for 30 years. New York City taxi drivers ran them. Chicago, Los Angeles, Detroit, and Houston ran them. Limousine services and airport transportation companies ran them. American families bought the civilian Crown Victoria LX as the last full-size, rear-wheel drive, body-on-frame American sedan available at a working-class price point. The Crown Victoria was the vehicle backing up every American police drama on television for 2 decades. It was the taxi at every American airport stand. It was the sedan parked at every American funeral home, every American small-town courthouse, every American diner. The Crown Victoria was woven into the visual fabric of American life so completely that most Americans did not notice it until it was gone. The reason it lasted in those roles for 30 years has nothing to do with marketing and everything to do with engineering. The Crown Victoria was built on the Ford Panther platform, a body-on-frame chassis design that Ford introduced in 1979 and ran with minor revisions until 2011. That is 32 years of continuous production on the same fundamental platform. No American manufacturer has built a single passenger car platform for that long since. The Panther chassis was massively over-engineered for the applications it served. Police departments hammered Crown Victorias through hundreds of thousands of miles of high-speed pursuit, idle heavy patrol duty, and constant emergency maneuvering without catastrophic frame failure. Taxi fleets ran them around the clock for years on end. The 4.6-liter modular V8 fitted to most Crown Victorias is documented in fleet service past 400,000 miles on the original engine and transmission, with regular maintenance. Police interceptors specifically have been documented past 500,000 miles in continuous patrol service. The vehicle was built to outlast the people who bought it. The repair ecosystem around the Crown Victoria was equally robust. Every American auto parts retailer stocked Crown Victoria parts. Every independent mechanic in the country had worked on the Panther platform. The diagnostic process required no proprietary equipment. The wiring harnesses were serviceable. The body panels were available. The transmission was the 4-speed automatic that had been in production for decades and could be rebuilt by any transmission shop in the United States. The Crown Victoria was, in every meaningful sense, an American vehicle that belonged to the people who bought it. The transaction was complete the day the title cleared. There was no software authorization. There was no cellular modem. There was no manufacturer remote access. The owner owned the car. So why did Ford kill it? The answer Ford gave publicly was that fuel economy regulations made the Panther platform non-viable. The Crown Victoria, with its body-on-frame construction and 4.6-liter V8 engine, did not meet the corporate average fuel economy standards Ford was being held to. That explanation is partially true, but deliberately incomplete. The Panther platform could have been updated. The 4.6 V8 could have been replaced with a more efficient engine while keeping the body-on-frame architecture. Other manufacturers and other markets continued to produce body-on-frame sedans through tighter regulatory environments. Ford did not lack the engineering capability. Ford lacked the strategic will. The real reason has to do with money, and it follows the same pattern that has shaped major American automotive decisions over the last 2 decades. In 2010, Ford was making the strategic transition that every major American manufacturer was making. The Crown Victoria sold at relatively low margins to fleet customers. civilian buyers in working-class price brackets, and aging customers who refused to consider crossovers. Crossovers and sport utility vehicles generated significantly higher per-unit profit. Crossovers locked customers into financing structures that generated recurring revenue through service contracts, extended warranties, and dealer-gated repairs. The Crown Victoria produced none of that. A police department that bought a fleet of Crown Victorias drove them for 10 years, repaired them at municipal mechanic shops, and replaced them with more Crown Victorias. A taxi operator who bought a Crown Victoria drove it for 500,000 miles and bought another one. The Crown Victoria did not feed the modern automotive revenue model. It contradicted that model. So Ford killed it. The 2011 production run ended on September 15th at the St. Thomas assembly plant. Police departments and fleet operators had received quiet warnings from Ford fleet sales representatives months earlier and had stockpiled as many vehicles as they could afford. The New York Police Department alone ordered enough final-year Crown Victorias to delay their fleet transition by years. The Los Angeles Police Department did the same. Chicago, Detroit, Houston, every major American police force placed final orders that exhausted Ford's remaining production capacity. Civilian buyers who wanted final model year Crown Victorias had to compete with municipal fleet purchasers who outbid them on every available unit. By the time the last Crown Victoria left the assembly line, the entire production run had been pre-sold. What Ford offered as a replacement was the Police Interceptor utility, built on a Ford Explorer chassis, and the Police Interceptor sedan, built on a Ford Taurus chassis, both modified for police work. Police departments hated both options immediately. The Explorer-based Interceptor was a crossover SUV with all-wheel drive, a body designed for family hauling rather than patrol duty, and a level of mechanical complexity that municipal repair shops could not service without manufacturer-specific diagnostic equipment. The Taurus-based Interceptor had a transverse-mounted V6 engine, front-wheel drive, and a unibody construction that handled poorly during high-speed pursuits. Major repairs required dealer-only diagnostic access. The replacements were significantly more expensive to operate per mile of patrol duty. They also required fleet retraining for officers who had driven Crown Victorias for 15 years. Police departments adopted them because Ford left no other option. None of the departments were satisfied with the change. Civilian buyers who wanted what the Crown Victoria offered had even fewer options. No American manufacturer in 2012 sold a full-size, rear-wheel drive, body-on-frame sedan at a working-class price point. That category of vehicle simply ceased to exist in the American market. Buyers who wanted that combination of attributes had two choices. They could buy a used Crown Victoria, or they could leave the American sedan market entirely. Most chose the first option. That is why used Crown Victoria prices have remained stable or appreciated for 15 years, while every other 15-year-old American sedan has collapsed in value. A clean civilian Crown Victoria today sells for between $10,000 and $25,000, depending on condition and mileage. Police Interceptor variants in serviceable condition sell for between $5,000 and $12,000. Both prices have climbed every year since 2018. The market for the Crown Victoria did not disappear when Ford stopped building it. The buyers are still here. The demand is still here. The vehicle that filled this specific niche in American life is the only thing that no longer exists. Ford killed the Crown Victoria in 2011 because it did not fit the modern automotive business model. The decision had strategic logic from a profit perspective. It had no logic from the perspective of the police departments, the taxi operators, the limousine services, or the working-class American buyers who had relied on the vehicle for 30 years. Ford served its shareholders. Ford did not serve its customers. 15 years later, the customers are still here. The vehicle is gone. The replacement is worse. And nothing on any American showroom floor today can fill the role the Crown Victoria filled for a generation. The next video looks at the same decision applied to the Lincoln Town Car. It used the same Panther platform, and it was discontinued the same year. Different cultural moment, different American story, same manufacturer reasoning. That video is coming next. Before that video, one question. Did you ever own a Crown Victoria, drive one for work, ride in one as a taxi, or have a family member who drove one on the job as a police officer, livery driver, courthouse employee, or government worker? Leave the year, the trim, and the role the vehicle played in the comments below. The Crown Victoria served Americans for 30 years. The comment section is where that service gets recorded.